Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be covering the 2020 election and how I think the debate could affect either candidate's chances of winning. Usually debates don't do much, but in this election there are a lot of people either leaning for a candidate, cough cough, Joe Biden, or candidates that are actually undecided and don't know who to vote for. So, I will be going over my initial prediction and then going over how I think the debate could affect it. If either candidate destroys or either candidate just barely edges out the win. So I'm going to give you my election prediction right now, and I forgot to categorize Nebraska. And yeah, let's get into it. So as for Joe Biden, I think pretty typical Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and Nevada are all going to be likely states, and Colorado, in terms of how likely he is to win it, not necessarily how the margin. If we were going off of what most political TikTokers that do predictions do, aka 1% or below is a tilt, and then between 1 and 5 is lean, and then 5 to 15 is likely, and then so on and so on. And I will actually be using that scale from now on, except instead of 1 or below, I'm going to do 2 or below, just because I feel like that's not a relatively safe margin, or lean, so yeah. But I'm going to categorize these as likely as I think Joe Biden will win them, pretty much certainly. And as for Donald Trump, the hype for Donald Trump has really died down in Texas. He is only leading by around 2 percentage points, but I do think that it will be a lean, winning it by around 3-ish percent. Don't think it'll be super competitive, and the hype has really died down of Biden winning Texas. So I don't see it in Joe Biden's hands, even though it definitely is possible. And more for Joe Biden. So personally, for Joe Biden, I think he has a good chance at winning Michigan. Will most likely be the most solid out of these Rust Belt states, and probably solid out of the rest of the ones that I'm going to characterize for Joe Biden, which goes as Arizona and Wisconsin, as I think those are all relatively good states for Biden. And same thing with Pennsylvania. New poll from an A+ rated pollster came out, and I believe he was up by around 8%. So, I mean, that's pretty huge. So, as you can see, I do think Joe Biden will win, but not by the margins that I've previously said, except I do see Michigan being likely, but I'm going to characterize it as lean. And as for Donald Trump, there's been a lot of hype for Biden in Maine's 2nd District, but I really don't see it happening. I will put it as tilt, but personally, I do think it is a lean. And now for the rest of these states. The hype for Joe Biden has died down in NC, but I will save that one for later. And go over to Georgia. Georgia, new poll came out. Joe Biden up by 3% by another A+ rated pollster. That is just huge for Joe Biden. I mean, could we see Georgia going blue? For sure. And Trump is only leading there by 0.2 on average now. So, I mean, that's pretty huge for the Joe Biden campaign. But as for Texas, I do think the hype will die down for Joe Biden in Georgia. And I am going to characterize it as tilt, as I believe it will be within 2 percentage points. And as we move over to these last 4 states are actually really hard to categorize. And district, because the district, there's been a lot of hype for Joe Biden, but I really don't see it swinging by 10%. I think Joe Biden or Donald Trump won it by a good margin, and right now Joe Biden is leading by around 7% there. So that's like a 10 to 15% flip if Joe Biden does win that. And same goes for Ohio and Iowa. Donald Trump won these by almost double digits. And I think it would be tough for Biden to win this district and 2 states. But personally, for Joe Biden, I do think he will win the district. Not by a very good margin, but I think he will eventually win it. But yeah. And I'm going to finish this up so that we can get to the second part. Alrighty, 4 states left. Iowa. A lot of hype for Joe Biden. I believe Donald Trump is leading Iowa by less than a percentage point in the polls, which is why I am going to put it as a tilt, as I think it will be very close. And with the Rust Belt swinging pretty good for Joe Biden, I see Iowa flipping. Or not flipping, but getting a lot tighter. And as for Ohio, Joe Biden is actually favored to win in Ohio now. And he has a 1% lead, I believe it is. And, I mean, he has been growing quite a bit in Ohio, and all of the recent polls show him up by like 3%, 5%. And I am actually going to characterize it as tilt for Joe Biden, because personally, I do see it going for Joe Biden right now. This could definitely change later, but as of right now, I do see it going for Joe Biden. And as we move to these 2 southern states, Florida, Joe Biden's leading it by just over a percentage point. Donald Trump swayed it by a percentage point, and obviously by the high population, there could be a good swing. And, I mean, there have been a lot more parades and all that crap for Joe Biden, so actually, at the moment, I do see him carrying it by a tilt margin. And as for NC, I believe Joe Biden is still winning there. I don't check it as often just because, the hype kind of died down there. And I will characterize it for Donald Trump as at the end of the day, I do think the hype will die down for Joe Biden again, and I think that it will be won by Donald Trump. And as you can see, yep, my prediction does say that I do think Joe Biden will win, but I can definitely see Ohio and I can definitely see Florida flipping. But as for my actual prediction, this is my actual prediction. Alrighty, now, if each candidate does a good job in the debate, like either or. So, I'm going to start off with Joe Biden first, and then go over to Donald Trump. Joe Biden, if he does a really good job in this debate, and if it actually sways voters, which I don't think it will, unless he does, like, a horrish job, or if Donald Trump does an absolutely horrish job, I see, Donald Trump winning Michigan by a, likely margin, and I see him winning Wisconsin by a likely margin. And I also see him winning Virginia by a safe margin, and same thing with New Hampshire. And I see him winning New Mexico by a safe margin, and Colorado, if it actually swings votes, this is. I see Florida going to lean. I could see Georgia going to tilt, and I could see NC going to tilt, and same as Iowa. And then Texas would not flip, but I could see it going to tilt if it actually changes that many people's opinions. Alrighty. Now I will go for Donald Trump. And I forgot to characterize Nebraska's 2nd district, but that would be like a lean or a likely. Alrighty. Now if Donald Trump does an amazing job, he would win Iowa. Iowa. No, not Iowa. Ohio. I knew I said it wrong. I could definitely see him winning Iowa, and I could definitely see him winning Florida. Arizona would definitely go down to a tilt margin. Same thing with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Maybe not Wisconsin, and I don't see Michigan going down to a tilt margin. New Hampshire would go down to a lean or a tilt. Same thing with Nevada. Alrighty, well, I will see you guys tomorrow.